People think that working in marketing must be easy, a good fit with comedy, but it's really hard because you tend to overanalyze things. For example, the other day, some guy works with me, hey, a dyslexic guy walks into a bar, and my initial reaction was not, oh, that's great, taking the piss out of dyslexic people, that's traditional British humour at its very best. Worst case, we've got something about autism. But no, my initial reaction was, well, the key question is how did he get in? Did he have a key, or did he have to use the knockers? But anyway, yeah, so working in marketing, there's been some really exciting things happening recently in the world of marketing. Not least of which... Yeah, all right. Not least of which, the printing of the News of the World, which today was written up in marketing. It's 7 days that shook marketing by the editor, displaying that vital ingredient for the 21st century marketer, a sense of perspective. And, yeah, so it's a disaster because all these big brands, big companies have booked advertising space in the News of the World, and they're going to have to book it with another paper. So, catastrophe. But what I didn't realise is that the News of the World is apparently known as the working class Bible, which I think just sums up everything that's wrong with this country. Even the religion is not free from the class system. So you've got the working class Bible, the News of the World, the upper class Bible, Daily Telegraph, obviously, and middle class Bible, the Sainsbury's Customer Magazine. But anyway, yes. So apparently the government, I heard today, the Tories are distraught because they've said this is the end of our paper, because the News of the World was their chief weapon for connecting with the working class vote. And they've come up with this radical new policy to re-engage a white van man and just general motorists in general to show that they're still sort of up with the concerns of the modern day motorists. So Nick Clegg and David Cameron are going to resit a specially devised driving test. Manoeuvres include the U-turn, reversing into a tight corner, and parallel pissing your majority up against a wall. But yeah, other exciting thing in the marketing world is this new law that they're bringing in to enable supermarkets to bring out legal services to buy out law firms, which sounds less exciting than it actually is. But but in fact, it's the whole. They're obviously government decided that supermarkets don't make enough money, so they need to give them more opportunities to do so, more opportunities for growth. It's actually called Tesco Law as a colloquialism, and so it's all in the name of consumer choice, which was the former mantra for healthcare reform, forming the NHS before they just decided to just dismantle the whole thing in the hope of securing some lucrative directorships for themselves when they inevitably get chucked out of the next election. But this super-injunction thing has given those supermarkets a real headache because they like to operate a kind of three-tier product system. They're good, better, best, as it's known in the industry, or shite, average, and overpriced, as it's known by everybody else. And but the super-injunction, where do you go after super? You've got your bog-standard injunction, but you've got super-injunction, and what do you do after that? There are, as we speak, armies of brand consultants sitting up late into the night working on whether there's some space maybe at the value end of the market, a kind of injunction light. And just maybe certain people can talk about it or write about them in certain papers. Anyway, these issues will, I'm sure, be explored thoroughly in Morgan Spurlock's upcoming film, Super-Injunct Me. It's sadly destined to not do very well at the box office because, of course, cinemas aren't allowed to tell you where they're showing it. Where was I? Oh yeah, anyway, so supermarkets, you can never tell what they're going to do next. Sainsbury's, for example, are starting a dating agency, having clearly identified a gap in the market for a dating agency that's going to help people with seduction, provide tips on how you can make sure that the first date is not the last. And it was tucked away. You need to read between the lines. It was tucked away at the bottom of a press release about their sustainable fishing drive. It read, the last line read, 86% of consumers eat cod every week. but 75% never tried pouting. Which possibly presages the appointment of Keira Knightley as their new brand ambassador. Possibly the face of their new diet range, Be Cruel to Yourself. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for waiting, and you've been lovely. Have a good night.